88.1 KFCF Fresno, 97.5 K248BR Santa Cruz, and online at kpfa.org. The time is 9 p.m. Stay tuned for Suspense.
Tonight, we take pleasure in bringing you Suspense, a weekly anthology of notable melodramas from stage and screen, fiction and radio, presented each week to bring you to the edge of your chair, to keep you in suspense. Though now little more than a footnote in American culture, there was once a region in New York's Catskill Mountains known as the Borscht Belt, a hugely popular vacation destination for Jewish New Yorkers for much of the 20th century. The Borscht Belt fell into decline when air travel became commonplace. But by that time, its resorts had spawned a virtual who's who of comedy legends, from Woody Allen and Mel Brooks to George Burns and Jerry Lewis. During the early 50s, many Catskills performers benefited from the need of the new medium of television for programming and became national celebrities. Milton Berle's Texaco Star Theater, Sid Caesar's Your Show of Shows, and Phil Silver's The Phil Silver Show brought them into millions of homes every week and made them icons of the baby boom. But other Borscht Belt comics found themselves performing before audiences of a very different sort. Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
No. But wait. Oh, why, yes, we are. Look, there's the Empire State Building, right behind that patch of crabgrass.
Hardy, ha. You should consider a career in comedy when you grow up.
Oh, I would, but every time I see your act, Stogie, I think to myself, you know, the world really could use more plumbers.
Disparage my art if you must, but admit it, you're just jealous that I'm getting my own TV show again.
Oh, jealous? Your last show went off the air before I could even settle my tuchus on the sofa.
Yeah, but in fairness, that's a lot of settling.
I'll have you know that I inherited my tuchus from my mother.
Is it too late to get cut out of a will?
As a matter of fact, it is too late. My mother died 3 years ago.
Oh, Roz, I'm sorry. Hey, wait a minute. Your mom's not dead. We just had dinner with her last month.
Did we? I don't seem to recall.
You should. She made rump roast. Rump roast? Get it? Huh? Oh, come on, Roz. Can't this heap go any faster?
Are you nuts? It's 4 a.m. and this fog's as thick as pea soup.
I just got whiplash from a passing snail.
If you don't like it, get out and walk.
I probably make better time.
I'll meet you at Radio City.
All right. But my meeting at Dumont is for 9 o'clock sharp, and I plan on being there with bells on.
And hopefully pants, too. This time.
Only if it's cold, Roz. Only if it's cold. But if I'm late, and they go ahead and hire Henny Youngman to host that new show, let it be on your head.
Oh, however could I live with a Boyden knowing that I denied the world your greatness? Hey, Stogie, you want to get behind the wheel? Might take your mind off things.
Me? Behind the wheel? Forget it. Driving's way too dangerous.
Oy. Well, then how about finding something on the radio? WNBC usually comes through pretty strong on this stretch of 17.
Ask and you shall receive. Guy Lombardo and his Royal Canadians. Music to soothe the savage milquetoast.
You better find something else, or else we'll be wrapped around a tree before the end of Begin the Begin. Oh, what's that?
Charlie Parker?
I'm serious, Stogie. Suddenly I feel kind of strange.
Strange? Like I ate too many matzo balls and I'm about to explode strange? Or strange like I'm opening at Grossinger's terrace room and I forgot my act strange?
Strange like... Oh, you ever feel like you're not all there?
Story of my life, Roz. Story of my life.
Stogie...
You're asking me? I just got here.
Would you look at this place? I've never seen anything like it. The angles. Not a straight line to be found anywhere.
Like it was designed by Frank Lloyd Wrong.
And decorated by Salvador Dali.
Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Indeed, you are no longer in Kansas, humans. Or even on your own planet, for that matter.
Who said that?
I did.
Stogie, do you see? Sitting up in that gallery sort of thing?
Yeah, only I always thought that green men from Mars were supposed to be little. That character would make Primo Carnera look like Mickey Rooney. Hey, mister, who are you?
I am the games master for the Toulousian Empire.
The who's it for the what now?
Your sense of humor will serve you in good stead here, Mr. Schnabotnik. In fact, it is a very key to your survival.
Look, whoever you are, where are we and how did we get here?
Where you are and how you came to be here are questions far too complicated for your primitive ape brains to comprehend.
Ape brains?
He means you.
Oh.
Humor us, okay?
Where you are is on the throne world of the Toulousian Empire, rulers of the galaxy known to humanity as NGC 1300 in the Eridanus cluster. You were brought here via instantaneous teleportation beam.
Come again?
As I stated previously, your limited intellect will not be able to comprehend what has happened.
Hey, speak for him, Game Master. I comprehend just fine. What you're saying is that you used some sort of Buck Rogers gizmo to zoom us across space to your planet.
Excellent, Miss Callahan. You show an unexpected level of comprehension. A credit to your species.
You hear that, Ape Brain?
Yeah. Go to the head of the class, apple polisher. Okay, I get how you brought us here, but... And I just know I'm going to regret asking this. Why? Why us? And why here?
You are here to participate in the games.
Oh, well that explains everything.
Games? You mean like Tiddlywinks?
No, Mr. Schlabotnik. Not like Tiddlywinks. We of the Toulousian Empire have evolved far beyond your childlike diversions. Require entertainment of infinitely greater sophistication. And so, we created the games.
What do we have to do?
Shortly, you will be transported into our arena, where you will face a male and female from another world. The winners will be returned to their planet of origin unharmed.
And the losers?
The losers will be eliminated from existence, along with every member of their species. A means of upping the stakes, as you would put it.
What if...
The same conditions apply if you refuse to compete in the games.
Talk about you bet your life.
Precisely, Mr. Schlabotnik. Precisely.
For this, we got dragged halfway across the universe? Just look at our palatial quarters. 2 stone benches and a... What is that thing anyway? A sink? A toilet? Both?
You know, this fakakta room reminds me of a joke. Outside of a dog, a book is man's best friend. Inside...
Inside a dog, it's too dark to read. Does Groucho know you're stealing his material?
If it'll make you feel better, be sure and tell him the next time you see him.
Oh, Stogie, what are we gonna do?
Hey, it's not so bad. I'll have you know I was a junior middleweight boxer in high school. They called me Hebrew Lightning.
I'll make sure they put that on your tombstone.
Well, it's not like we have a choice. We fight or we die. And not just us, but every last man, woman, and child on Earth.
I know. Good thing all those people back home don't.
Don't what? Know their fate is in the hands of a couple of schlemazzles from Queens?
Exactly. But it is. And we owe it to humanity to give it the old college try.
But I didn't go to college. You're right. You're right, Booby. No matter what, we're gonna go down swinging. We owe it to humanity, to God, to ourselves.
Pinky swear on it?
Oh, I don't know, Roz. After all, the pinky is also known as the piggy finger. And you know how important my faith is to me.
You just ate a BLT right before we got whooshed across the galaxy.
How about a spit swear instead?
Ugh, just stick your pinky out.
Oh, we're probably getting worked up over nothing anyway. I mean, what's the worst thing we could end up fighting? Lizard monsters the size of elephants?
Facing our defending champions are mammalian bipeds from the planet Earth, Stogie Slobotnik and Roz Callahan.
You just had to ask, didn't you?
Holy moly! Look at them! They're horrible!
I'm looking!
They expect us to fight those lizard monsters? Huh, they're as big as elephants.
Which reminds me, Stogie, now that we're facing certain death, there's something I've always wanted to tell you. Your timing on that elephant in my pajamas gag stinks.
Well, I'm glad you didn't have to go to your grave with that on your conscience.
Oh, Boobala, you're the best comic I know, and the best friend I got.
Right back at you, kiddo. If you hadn't been schlepping me back to New York, you wouldn't be here now. About to be an appetizer for a giant lizard alien.
Stogie, look out!
I'm not dead? I'm not dead!
Nope.
Thought I was dead once. Turned out I was just in Hoboken.
Again with the laughter.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try something. Listen, Gruesome, I never forget a face. But in your case, I'll be glad to make an exception. So, this battle to the death, it ain't with fists and teeth.
No, it's with jokes. Yeah, I get it. So keep going.
Now, I'm not saying my opponent is ugly, but when he was born, the doctor slapped his mother.
And as for his partner there, she was such an ugly baby that any time she played in the sandbox, the cat would try to cover her up.
How do you know it's a her?
You want to look close and find out?
No!
What's Gruesome doing? It's almost as if he wants you to...
As if he wants me to... No, not that old pull my finger gag. He wants me to pull his finger.
I wouldn't believe it if I wasn't seeing it with my own eyes. Oh, these two are strictly amateur hour.
Come on, Roz. Let's show these alien schlemiels how we do it uptown.
Whatever you say, Stogie. I have nothing but respect for you. And not much of that.
Why, thanks, Roz. You've never been funnier, and it's a shame.
Stogie, you got the brain of a 4-year-old boy. And was he ever glad to get rid of it?
When you were born, Roz, the doctor went into the waiting room and said, "We did everything we could, but she pulled through."
Your folks loved you so much, Stogie, that when you were a kid, your bath toys were a toaster and a radio.
Well, Gruesome's determined that someone's gonna pull his finger.
Yeah, and it looks like his partner is the lucky duck.
Yeesh. Sounds like somebody just stepped on a duck.
Oh, and that smell. You know the Fulton Fish Market on a hot August day? I'm wishing for that right now. You know, folks, I kid about this fella here, but the truth is that there isn't a person Stogie's ever met that he hasn't touched. Hell, he just touched me for $20 on Friday.
Yeah? Well, once when Roz was lost, she saw a policeman and asked him to help her find her parents. She said, "Do you think we'll ever find them?" So the policeman said, "I don't know, kid. There's so many places they can hide."
Oh, look, a meeting of the mindless.
Oh, tough crowd.
Gruesome is not happy with his partner.
Well, what do you know? Gruesome just ripped his partner's head off.
So I guess two heads aren't better than one.
Let Dr. Stogie make sure she's down for the count. So where's the pulse on this cockamamie alien? Well, either she's dead or my watch has stopped.
Your winners, Stogie Slobotnik and Roz Callahan of Earth.
Well, I've had a perfectly wonderful evening, but this wasn't it.
Ixnay on the Ipsquay, Osray. Thank you, thank you. You're beautiful. Really.
So, did that really happen?
Unless we've both gone Meshuggah.
Well, I wouldn't want to bet on that not being the case. You want to just keep this to ourselves and pretend it never happened?
Deal. Only
what?
Well, it's kind of satisfying, ain't it? I mean, we saved the whole human race and became the intergalactic champions of comedy.
Yeah, only something about that bothers me.
How so?
Remember when we got whooshed into that arena?
Do I? I'm gonna need to change my underwear 3 times when I get home, just to get caught up.
Well, the Games Master introduced the other team as the defending champions.
Defending champions.
Yeah.
Hi, vey, you don't think that... I could just plot.
And facing our defending champions are amorphous protoplasmic blobs from the planet Velt. It's Valhall and Sugar.
These 2 are gonna be total pushovers. Just look at them, Roz. Just big blobs of gray goo. They don't even have arms, let alone hands. No hands, eh? Good thing they're not Italian, or else they wouldn't be able to talk at all. Am I right? Huh?
Will you take this seriously, Stogie? Once again, the fate of the entire Earth depends on us, and here you are, cracking wise.
Oh, you need to stop worrying so much. We're Stogie Schlabotnik and Roz Callahan, the intergalactic champions of comedy. How hard could this be?
Wait, do you see that?
They're changing shape.
Into... No, it can't be!
They're changing into...
A giant whoopee cushion.
And a giant rubber chicken.
And again I say, you just had to ask, didn't you?
So ends Gag Reflex by John C. Alzadek and Dana Perry Hayes. Tonight's story of Suspense. Suspense is produced by Blue Hours Productions. Tonight's radio drama was written especially for Suspense by John C. Alzadek and Dana Perry Hayes. Daamen Krall was Stogie Schlabotnik, Elizabeth Grayson was Roz Callahan, and John C. Alzadek was the Games Master. I'm Daamen Krall. Next week at this time, tune in again for another study in Suspense.
I'm John C. Alsadek.
And I'm Dana Perry Hayes. Together, we're Blue Hours Productions, the producers of Suspense. In this series of post-episode segments, we'll explain some of the inner workings of radio's outstanding theater of thrills. So please join us as we go behind Suspense.
In this week's segment, we'll talk about the primary source for our adaptations, the pulp magazines of the first half of the 20th century, in particular, Weird Tales.
The pulps, as they were popularly called, were cheaply produced and sold fiction magazines. The name pulp itself derived from the lower quality paper on which the magazines were printed. The popularity of the pulps coincided pretty closely with that of radio, reaching its apex in the 1930s before fading away in the late 50s due to increased competition from other forms of print media and radio's bane, the television set.
Of the pulps, one of the best remembered is Weird Tales, which was originally published from 1923 to 1954. Though only modestly successful in its day, at its height, Weird Tales had less than 50,000 subscribers nationally. It proved to be phenomenally influential due to the young writers it featured in its pages. The likes of H.P. Lovecraft, Robert E. Howard, Ray Bradbury, Seabury Quinn, Clark Ashton Smith, Henry Kuttner, and Robert Bloch honed their craft in Weird Tales, and in doing so provided role models for countless other aspiring authors.
Quite a few of the adaptations we're doing on Suspense come from Weird Tales, both because they've passed into the public domain and because the tone of the stories fits perfectly with our vision for suspense. Some of them, such as Howard's The Fire of Ashurbanipal, which concerns two soldiers of fortune who find a city of legend deep in the desert, require only modest rewriting. It was more a case of taking what was already written and molding it to work on radio.
But other pulp stories have required much more. Lovecraft's Cool Air, a classic tale of a Spanish physician who has an aversion to heat, lacked a bit of pathos, and so he added more of a human element. And Kuttner's The Graveyard Rats had, in its original form, just one character and no dialogue. So in that case, we created a whole new work, using Kuttner's story of a grave robber and what he finds under a moldering cemetery as the foundation only. In all cases, however, we feel that we've stayed true both to the spirit of the original story and the spirit of suspense.
Thank you for joining us on Behind Suspense. Until next time, this is Blue Hours Productions wishing you good night
and pleasant dreams.